Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm your boy, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that I'm here alive and well in Bahrain. And I just wanted to talk about a few things that's been on my mind. And it's nothing about anyone or anything, it's just perspective on life. A lot of people are taking their blessings for granted. And I'm going to explain what that means. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is not going to be too long. I just want to get to the point. I want to get this off my mind. I always believe by doing these videos is really to help me. I'm not trying to, say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. It's just what I see and documenting what I feel at the time of making these videos. So I thank you for all tuning in. So one of the things that I've seen is that people are taking life for granted. I'm literally watching Night Watch over in the room here. And Night Watch, if you don't know, it used to be a show to come on back in 2015. And it showed what people in New Orleans, like the emergency response teams, like EMS, firefighters, and police officers are going through daily and seeing a lot of people going through a lot of issues. And then they branched off into Texas, I believe, and I think the show went off already. But it was a good show because first off, I was going to New Orleans when I was living back in Panama City, Florida, and it was only 5 hours away, and you actually see those things that take place. And I'm gonna talk about a lot of people are trying to escape from depression. They're trying to escape from stress. They're trying to escape from the pain that's in their heart. It may be that they lost someone, maybe they lost a job, maybe they've been in a bad situation, and they feel like, hey, I need to take substances. I need to get drunk. I need to just get crazy. Now, that's not all the cases on that episode, but just looking at it, where a lot of people, the first episode I watched, the guy got shot. He wasn't even doing anything wrong. He was just walking, and he got shot. He was all coherent, like in a ambulance talking, and then he just kind of stopped, and then they lost his heartbeat. Then they brought him back to do surgery, and then he lost his life before daybreak. And that is what I want to talk about. Like, we got to take life and be thankful for every moment that we have. Whether you think you don't have a lot going on, you could be in a far off worse place. And this is one of the things I talk about. Yes, I have all my fingers, right? And I don't have my feet showing on the camera, but I have all my toes. I'm healthy, right? A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't even stand. I'm thinking about like Christopher Reeve, Superman. Everyone knew Superman, Christopher Reeve. And that accident I think he had in 94, 95, it changed his whole life. And a lot of people, oh, dang, they're not taking that lesson and being understanding of like, hey, be thankful for what you have. I always thank God for giving me life because each day is a miracle. Each day is a miracle to wake up and see, to see the sun, see the world. No matter what it is, right? No matter if you're talking about, hey, we're in conflict in this world, you have another chance at life. You got another chance to make a difference. And that's what matters the most. Being thankful to have money in your pocket. Some people walking around begging on the streets don't have no money to their name. Y'all might be complaining, I don't like this and that, and y'all are wasting your money. We got to be better at our finances more than ever in this world. Money is what makes the world go around, but I say God makes the world go around, to be honest with you. That's really what matters. Another thing that I will talk about is that we really need to take the time and look at everything. Look at what we're doing in our lives. Looking at what we can do to make a difference, not only for you, but the ones around you that you love. If you're going through an issue with your loved one, if you're going through an issue where you are not being effective, where it might be a coworker, it may be someone that you truly love, you may be in a relationship and y'all just not seeing eye to eye, you got to take that time out. Because don't say, I take care of it later, because you don't know what later may be. You don't know if you may see this next day. Just today, I just heard that George Foreman unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace. 76 years old. To me, that's still young. Somebody that's, oh no, you know, it depends. It depends on your health conditions or whatnot. But in the news, they didn't mention anything about him having any health issues, and he was on the news not too long ago talking about how much money he made with the George Foreman drills. He got a second chance at life. After fighting, He did the whole burgers and the whole George Foreman grills and all those things. And a lot of people lose their chances. A lot of people mistake what is an opportunity as, oh, that's a fluke. I'm gonna tell you this: there's no coincidence in this world. There's things that are set with attention, and if you truly go after what you want, you can have it. Now, is that meaning that it's just gonna be hand given to you? It's not gonna be hand given to you. What that means is that you got to put in work. You got to put in dedication. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunities, even with the ups and downs. Right? I had some downs, going back way back, and I didn't look at it as, I hate everyone. I have these issues with everyone. I have these things that's really bothering me, and blah blah blah. I looked at it and it's like, okay, what is God trying to show me? What is He trying to show me to actually look at things? And I prayed about it, right? I prayed, I say, help me open my eyes so I can see better, I can hear you better. And things started to happen. Now, it didn't go like a flashlight, right? It took time. I had to spend time to be away. I had to be isolated. And I think the isolation part is where a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are afraid to be alone. A lot of people rather just be with someone that may be bringing them hell, than rather than saying, hey, let me spend time alone and really understand who I am. I had knew what I had to do because I'd done this before. When I went to Panama City, I spent away from my family. I was away. I was isolated. But as part of that, I ended up working on my degree. I ended up working on getting a JPME for the military. I started doing all these things. And people are like, how did you find time? I spent that time alone focusing on what I wanted to do. A lot of folks won't do that. A lot of folks say, I gotta be in I gotta be in the club, I gotta be out here, I gotta do all these things that is gonna make me go crazy. I'm telling you right now, you need to stop. You need to stop and look at what you really want to have in life. Is it that you really want to have something, or you're just saying you want to have something? Is it that you really want to make a difference in your life? I'm not saying everyone's life at this point, because you got to first work on you. You got to work on you before you can sit here and try to critique someone. Get to the part where you are going to make a difference in your life, because it's your life. I'm going to tell you something. Person who's going to care the most about your life is you. Don't sit there and depend on your company. Don't depend on family members, things like that, because you're going to have people who may not want to see you win. You're going to have people, I literally know people who didn't want to see me win. But you know what? I didn't sit there and start calling them names, things like that. Did I avoid them? Yeah, because I didn't want to be around the energy. I do believe that people carry energy on them. It's just an aura, right? I'm careful who I'm around. If I got to be around people that I really don't really like to mess with, I limit that time. And I say my prayers. I pray quite often. If I need to have a conversation with God, let's to talk about what's going on in my mind, not sit here begging this, begging that, because I had to learn how to pray again. It was just like being in a movie, I would say, like in Rocky 3, when he got beat up by Mr. T and Mick died. Rocky had to relearn how to fight again. And Apollo Creed how to teach him how to fight. It's like, hey, you got to fight this way. You got to fight this style in order to beat this guy. And it was the whole thing was just like I had to be stripped away from all the things. I had to go through some heartaches. When I lost my father, that was like the greatest heartache right there. And I still think about him, but I know that I can hear him. I can hear his words from memories of what he used to talk to me about being strong, being responsible, being able to do things that he may not have been able to do at the time. And just to take the time to take that moment and expand on it. So many times that, like right now, making videos. A lot of people, I don't got time for that. I just make it when it's equipped. But I told myself we're gonna start making more videos. We're gonna start getting more content out, because we want people to see this. We want to see people see this journey, because it is possible. And I told you about last week. If you saw the content from last week, you may not. It might have been my other video, but I have people where I do a car business, right? I do that online, and a lot of folks were just like, in a group that I was in, I was trying to give them information. I wasn't trying to sell anything, wasn't trying to promote my book or anything like that, because people are going to find me. And more likely, right now, people are finding my content more often. It's all about getting your videos out there, getting it out to the right people, and addressing the problems. They want to hear all that. They'll call me a snake oilsman. I was a fake. I was a liar, a digital marketer who's just trying to rip people off. And it's like, It's funny. How's it that I'm trying to rip people off when I'm not trying to sell anything to anyone? I haven't went into anyone's DMs. Hey, you want to buy my book? I know how to sell things, and that's one of the things I don't do. Going into groups, throwing my link out there because anyone can do that, and you can get kicked out of that group unless they say, "Hey, you're willing to drop your stuff in there." It's all about helping people, and that's what I learned at the end. It's about helping people, understanding people, making sure that we're on the same page because well, the world information, world technology, all this stuff, sometimes we miss each other. Sometimes we miss connections with our families. Now, I understand, like me, I'm living in Bahrain. I'm over here. This is the whole background of Bahrain and stuff like that. My mom is not here. My sister's not here. I have to use technology to reach out and talk to my sister, talk to my mom. Makes sense. But when you're living in the same area and y'all don't have time to see each other, that's a problem right there. I know people like, I gotta work this and that. Make time. Make time. Because you don't know when it's your time to go is when that person's time to go. And it's gonna be too late to say, well, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. You can't be like that. But in general, I would say this to wrap this up. I think that we truly need to take the time out to really appreciate what we have in life because it can be taken away from us, just like it can be given to us. And then with that given part, you got to work. You got to work. I'm not sitting there saying you got to work at 8 to 5 or whatever, or 9 to 5, wherever it is. There's different ways to get to wherever you want. If it's financial, if it's trying to get to a status, if it's trying to just achieve a certain thing that you're looking for, like losing weight, getting yourself healthy, getting yourself in the right position in your life, then that means it requires consistency. You ain't gotta be great. The first day's gonna suck. I'm gonna tell you. When I start going back on the weight loss, it took a while, right? But it was just like things start going into place, and I had to have the patience because that was the first thing that I had to learn. God say, have patience. Don't worry about what other people doing. You say, oh, look at them, they're doing this and that. And that's another thing that people have. Looking at, hey, look what he's doing. Damn, why can't I do it? Things like that. No, 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 no. You need to work on you. Don't worry about the other person. It's just like when I was in swimming classes. I saw a guy, rest in pieces, this is my boy Jermaine, you know, swimming. He doing all these things, this and that. I'm like, wow, what I'm trying to do, I'm struggling. I don't understand, realizing, hey, this guy's already took multiple swimming classes. So he's going to be an ace on this. You're just starting out. You had never took a swim class before, but it requires you to practice. It requires you to have consistency. And that's the thing that we need to really have. We need to truly be consistent on what we want. Don't sit there and say you want to lose weight and then you're not trying to eat better, if you're not trying to work out, you're not trying to be consistent with it and be like, well, it's not for me, or I want to run a business. You got to put in work. Hey, I want to be a YouTuber. You got to put in work. You got to start putting in that work. And you may say, well, dang, this is so tiring. I'm not saying burn yourself out, but you can't sit there and say, I want it, and then close your eyes and do one of these moves and then be like, well, dang, it didn't work. There's nothing gonna fall out of the sky, guys. I always had a belief that if you got two hands, you got arms, legs, you got a mouth, you know how to think. God gave you basically the tools to get it going. Now it's up to you if you really want to go after it. And that's why I say don't sit here and waste your time playing games, going out to the clubs all the time, just wasting time. It's not nothing wrong with going if you want to go out every once in a while. But if you saying you gotta do a mission and you trying to make it happen and all you doing is just like, oh well, I'm just gonna complain, I'm gonna holler and this and that, and you're not getting the things done, then whose fault is that? Just take a moment and think about it, guys. Again, my name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I hope to see you next time. If you like what I was talking about, please make sure you subscribe and share. Again, see you next time. Take care.